All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to more TCR action here tonight. Trinity Competitive Racing Season 10, but unfortunately, it is the last round of Season 10. It's been such an incredible season so far, especially in this particular class. It's the Golden class tonight for round 16 here in the Mexican Grand Prix to round off the season for a really nice season finale. I think this track with the stadium section, especially when you finish the race with all the fireworks going off, it's the best place to finish a season. This class is already all decided. Flying Jippo is our champion, and Red Bull are the constructors championship. Are the constructors champions after a great race last weekend or last week. That was in the USA, and they secured enough points to secure that championship. So in the booth with you guys tonight, myself, BLIN-MACHINE again, but we have a very special guest joining us in the booth as well. It's Mr. Seafreeze. How you doing?
Yo, 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 welcome everybody. This is the finale, Blin. This is what we come to see, the finale. And I am happy to be with you today and finishing out Season 10 on a high note. So I'm looking forward to it today. We have 18 drivers and everything's all decided. All the chips are really pretty much decided for the top spots in the championship. But today is all about having fun and a really good race, and Mexico usually always provides because you could do a whole bunch of stuff, strategy, and we may get some rain, which I think we saw last night in the silver class. So I'm looking forward to it. Glad to be here.
All right, so yeah, as you said, it's the last one of the season. It's absolutely unbelievable that we've made it so far and so quickly. It sort of seemed to go by, like it was a couple of weeks, not really like we've been in this season for, what has it been, about 3 or 4 months? It's definitely been a long one. How has the season gone for you overall in the Platinum class?
It's been, well, on my end, it's been rough. It's been a different season, not my best performances, although I've had some good races, and I've quite enjoyed all the racing throughout. It's on a different game, a lot of different characteristics, especially with the regular corner cutting, which I've actually really enjoyed because we're just able to race the drivers, and on that part I really enjoyed, and yeah, I was happy to get a few wins here and there, and race with a lot of new faces in Platinum, and I think you'll see some of these guys in the Golden class move up next year in the Platinum class in Season 11. So it's been pretty fun ride, I have to say. And like I said, with the regular corner cutting, we are on regular corner cutting today as well for Mexico, so we'll be able to just race and have fun. The only corners regulating is really these turn 2 and 3 through the chicanes, and the final corner of the S section, the apex and the extension. So the stewards are looking at those, but I think the drivers are just here to have fun and race for the final race of the season, and yeah, I think it'll be a good race.
And we do have actually a new player with us tonight here, Wadapatowski, if I'm saying that right, out there right now on his first hot lap on a set of soft tires, and this track is quite brutal on tires, I gotta say, from my experience here last night in Silver class. But yeah, I was gonna say, for me this season has also been just as tough, as you were mentioning, compared to especially Season 9 when I was runner-up for the championship, and then compared to this season finishing in 8th place. So that was a big difference. It was definitely a tough season, and as you were saying, this new game definitely threw a little bit of a wrench to some players. I know a lot of people really loved the new handling model, but for me it took a little time to adjust to it, and then I just ran into a bunch of bad luck. So I still enjoyed every single minute of it, so not really gonna be sad about it or anything. It was an amazing season. It was super close in all of the 3 classes, and of course I got to commentate on Golden and Platinum class quite a bit as well, all throughout the season. So absolutely enjoying it, absolutely loving it. Wadapatowski right now, the new driver, setting a purple first sector out there.
Yeah, he is a reserve, so he's technically not supposed to set a lap. Although maybe he's just setting a good good out lap. I don't know how to say the setup, but regardless, it is the last race. I don't know. Although he's going all over the track here, so I don't know what's gonna happen. I think he's coming in this lap. I don't think he's setting that time, but yeah, a little interesting. Although I will say, like you just said earlier, you runner-up. Just noticing, I was as well. So we got both runner-ups here from last season, and we're stuck in the booth. So maybe that says a little something about
yeah.
how the season has gone for us.
We talk better than we drive. Is that what you're saying?
Hey, you know, I'm not making assumptions. You said it, not me. But
that was pretty much what you're saying. But anyways,
yeah.
Good observation there from Seafreeze. Thank you.
At least we're performing somewhere. Am I right?
Oh, there we go. Absolutely. But that's also another thing I wanted to mention. With all the new guys that are driving around on the track, even in the last round of the season, that's really nice to see. Compared to last season when I was doing a little bit of commentary and I was noticing a bunch of people, it looks like a completely brand new grid, like it's a completely brand new league, so to speak, in this season. And some people have come around and really shown us what they're made of. I mean, in this season in particular, I think who should we pick out? Well, Stanley, I think he was definitely quite impressive. If he would have come a little bit earlier into the season, he might have been right up there together with Flying Jippo, because right now they're separated by about 50 points. So, you know,
he missed the 2 races, or 2 or 3 races.
Yeah, 3 races right at the start.
He's been really impressive. I think he's got a shot at even going to Platinum next year. I mean, if you look at this season, especially just directly into the Golden class, there's really been 3 guys that have been at the top, and Jibbo's been that guy. You know, obviously winning the championship really early on. But if it's not Jippo, the 2 other guys is the guys right now, P1 and P2, Chargers and Stanley. And Stanley, we had no track record on him. You know, he's the new guy. He came in, and we knew he was quick through testing and him being able to get into the grid. But he has been impressive, and I do think if he takes the line off, I think he's experimented with no line. I don't know if he runs it fully, but he could move up to the Platinum class, so it'd be really impressive on his half. Although there's been a lot of new drivers. Puff Digital, I believe, has been new.
JXW, right, who just set a P4 114.9. Very nice, very impressive.
And we have Ryan as well, came in late as a reserve. I believe he's got a full-time seat now at AlphaTauri, I believe. And there's been some really good guys, as well as some returnees, like you know, Jones and Jippo from Golden last year, and Chargers, our other Silver Class champion, which
Joshua.
I don't think Chargers has really gotten the credit. I mean, this guy was the first Silver Class champion back in Season 8, if I believe correctly. And he took a season off. He was kind of a Golden reserve, and he's come into the Golden class. He could go in the Platinum class next year, but he's able to get some wins. So he was able to win in both classes, and he's had a really good season. So
yeah,
it's been overall really good from old drivers and new. And what a Patawowski, if I said that. And I got my turn at that one. I don't know whose was better, but he is now the new driver tonight. So I just like to see the new drivers in their improvement throughout the season, and I think you can see that throughout the season for many of the drivers.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting for next season to see, you know, which drivers go to possibly Platinum class, or whoever wants to stay in Golden and take that title. It's going to be very, very close for whoever stays in this particular class. I feel like because it's right in the middle between Silver and Platinum, it really puts a lot of really, really good drivers together into the same class for a whole season. And this is exactly what you get out of it. Racing like this is absolutely incredible. What we've seen so far this season, the battling has been super, super close. There were some really unfortunate incidents for a lot of people, especially for Flying Jippo as well for a couple of times. I think Jones, compared to last season, the performances that he's put in, last season he's a previous champion as well. He's the Golden Season 7, I think, champion. So I mean, you know, there's a lot of guys that I know next season are absolutely gonna shine right from the start.
Yeah, shine bright like a diamond.
Exactly.
But and also tonight we have a few reserves as well. Dre Diggy making his return from a really strong season last year. I believe he might even return for season 11, maybe full time. So he will be on the grid tonight in the Red Bull, pairing Jippo, who they were teammates last year in the McLarens, I believe. So he's on the grid tonight, as well as your rival from last year, F1 racer. So he'll be starting P18, where another silver driver, a silver champion, might be starting on pole. Right now it's a 13.4, which I did want to bring up. I saw the pole lap record for TCR in Mexico was actually set in season 6 by Xandamar. It was a 114, and I don't know what it was last night in silver class, but I was really thinking, oh, will it get beaten tonight? Because these cars are really, really quick, and it did. So the one stat Xandamar did have, probably not the only one, but it did get breaking. It did get breaking, so it's broke. So he doesn't.
All right. Well, I mean, yeah, these cars have been improving. I think towards the end of the season as well, all of these drivers have had so much time with the cars and gotten to know them and got to know the game so much better as well. Next season, of course, we're going to be continuing on the same platform, on the same game as well. So I think that's going to add to that sort of level of comfortability. Of course, when we started this season, some of us, you know, that might have been their very first sort of competitive races on the F1 2020 game, and that definitely took a lot of time for a lot of people to get used to, myself included. I feel like I've only really gotten, you know, to really grips with this game, with the handling model, with the braking model and everything else, only, you know, a couple of weeks ago so far. So it's taking me a long time, but yeah. And also I wanted to mention, you mentioned my rival F1 racer.
Right.
You know, we are actually at the place where in season 9 the tide turned in his favor at Mexico. We were battling. I was right behind them before the pit stops. We were in like 3rd and 4th, and then when I pitted, I came out right behind Motor City. And Motor City was on a completely different tire strategy, and he was holding me up. He was battling me from every angle. It was actually his first race back from not racing in TCR for a very long time, and he didn't know that myself and F1 Racer were in this battle. We only had one more race to go after it in season 9 as well, so it was a really pivotal moment for myself. I was only ahead by a few points, and this was the race when F1 Racer jumped ahead by about 6 or 8 points, I think, and then at the end of it all, I lost the championship by just a few points. It was very disappointing, but yeah, last night in Mexico as well, I had some trouble. I was doing very, very well, and then a virtual safety car came out, and then I managed to get myself a drive-through penalty. Then I managed to overshoot a braking zone, break off a front wing, and yeah, and I still managed to recover to 5th place. So I was pretty happy, but it's a crazy track, this one is. Let's take a look with Stanley. He's starting a hot lap right now, or is he doing a cooldown lap? I think he's doing a cooldown because he just did a 113.6. And Chargers is in the pits with a 113.4. Zegrease in 3rd, also in the pits right now, 113.9. Asio has just come out on his out lap on a 114.5. Everyone is qualifying on those soft tires. I mean, what are we doing in regards to strategy here, Seafers? What do you think is the best one?
Well, I think the softs is the best way to go to start. You need track position, and it's a really long straight down to turn 1, which track position is crucial because you want to start pretty far up. I think row 2 is pretty much where you really want to be because you got the slipstream. But starting really far up, you know, minimizes your chance of, you know, really, going really far backwards. But I think it's really up to debate whether you do a 1-stop or a 2-stop. Probably a 2-stop would be soft, medium, medium, and a 1-stop soft, hard. Although you could do a few variations depending on when, if there's a safety car, if you're, you know, trying to preserve your tires. You could do a lot of different things here. I think because we are on regular corner cutting, drivers won't really be getting penalties, so if you do the two-stop, you can't bank on someone else having a penalty, so you don't have to technically pass them. I think if you do a two-stop and a guy goes long and he does the one-stop, you have to actually get to him and pass him legit on track, which makes the race a lot more exciting. So I think it'll come down to if we get a safety car VSC and then when you pit, but I think most drivers will try the two-stop today.
And you're watching your Season 10 champion here for the Golden Class, flying Jippo out there on a hot lap right now. He's just making it to the end of the second sector right now. What sort of time is he going to set here? It's not purple, but he's doing better by half a second on his own previous fastest time as he's coming through the very tricky stadium section here. Look at all those fans. I wish that was a reality because, of course, this year, no fans at most of the races, and that was very, very disappointing. I think the fans definitely add to the environment, but there goes Flying Jippo there with a 1:14.303. So very, very quick times here already right off the cuff. Chargers, though, is still in the lead.
On a lap 2. Yeah, he's going pretty quick, pretty much equaling his time. Now a 2/10 up. Middle sector, it lights up purple as we go through the stadium section. Stanley is retired, so it's going to be Chargers, I think, unless someone else can challenge through the penultimate corner and the final corner to the line. Let's see what it'll be. I think it'll be an improvement, a 13.2,
wow,
which puts him 4/10 to a half a second above Stanley and well clear of the champion from this year, as a lot of drivers are closing up. Secrets is still in the lap pretty early on.
Ooh, big cut there on turn 3 from Seagrease, but I think he did keep that one wheel within the track. But some of our drivers definitely using the regular rules to the most of their extent to try and gain as much time as possible. Seagrease through the first sector was not quickest, but is improving on his own time by a little bit there. So let's see how he does through Sector 2 right now. Coming through what I feel is a very tricky set of corners. 7, 8, 9, 10 right now, and then 11. You got to swing it back to the left here and got to keep it within the track limits there, even under regular.
3/10 quick.
Wow, that is very, very quick from Seagrease. He got a really nice, smooth run through that second sector, and now just a couple more corners to go here. Coming through that stadium section, most drivers have already finished qualifying, but here comes Seagrease now, just across the line. Stays third with a 1:13.9.
Wow. He lost a lot of time in the last 2 corners, but it was a really impressive middle sector. He went purple, beating Chargers middle sector, and it was a clean one too as we were on board, so pretty impressive. I think that would be pole position for Chargers, as everyone else is DNA. Chargers of 13.268, and that'll put him on pole position, which is really good for him. He has not won, he won last week in USA, so he's looking to go a little back-to-back, a little belly-to-belly.
Of course, and you know, P2 in the overall standings is still open up because Stanley and Chargers are separated by 11 points. Chargers in third, Stanley in second. So I'm sure Chargers wants to beat Stanley here tonight and get a few points up on there and finish second instead of third in the overall championship standings. So Chargers on pole, Stanley in second, Seagrease in third, Osseo in fourth, Flying Jippo right now in fifth, Puff Digital sixth. Ryan is 7th, JXW in 8th, and look at that, 3 brand new drivers right there, back to back. TCR Jones in 9th, Fuzz in 10th, Joshua in 11th, You Having the Giggle in 12th, Ben Swerve in 13th, and then we had all of the other drivers that could not set time, reserves like Nip Steven, Wadapatovsky, Goldorator, Dre, and F1 Racer. So we've got quite a few reserves from Silver as well as 1 brand new driver. It's going to be very interesting to see how they get mixed up with all of the rest of them, because we can't see their pace in qualifying, so it could be anything really. They could be mega fast.
Yeah, I think for those starting in the rear, I think maybe the alternate strategy, because they obviously couldn't qualify, might be looking pretty good. Although, to be honest, I really think we'll get a safety car here. For some reason, I think those S's are dangerous, Blin. I think they're really bad. I think you hop on the curb a little too much, or you don't have the right setup, a little dirty air, a little bit too much of the traction, and you will spin. And the walls are quite close, so I think you'll see 1, 2, or maybe 3 drivers will lose it there. And I think we'll bring a safety car out, but what do we think as far as race predictions, top podium to finish this race and season out? Who's going to be on the top as we come out of this one?
Well, you know, after watching what happened in Silver last night with a last-second steal from Bamboo for the championship, I feel like Chargers has a beautiful chance. He's 4/10 clear in qualifying of Stanley, and he's only 11 points behind him in the standings. So if he can keep in that first place, you never know what Stanley could get tied up into after he makes a pit stop. As I mentioned right at the start of qualifying, this track is pretty brutal on tires, so you got to be nice and careful with your tire strategy, as well as, you know, trying to pull out your tires. So I think Charger's going to be on top. I think Ossio might finish second, and I'm going to say Flying Jippo in third.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna go down left field. I'm gonna go completely different. I'm gonna put, and I believe it would be his first win. I really liked what I saw in quali by Seacrest. I'm actually gonna put him on the top step. I think something's gonna happen between the favorite, the top 3, as if you will. I think Seacrest might squeeze a win out of today. I think Acho in second, and we'll put Fazale in P3. I don't know what.
Wow.
You know, reasoning behind that. Even if I go with the favorites, I'm wrong. So I just thought I'd go a little different today.
All right, and looking at tire strategy for the start of the race, of course, the top 10 starting on that soft tire that they qualified on. But we've got Joshua and Yuevan on the medium tire, Ben Swerven on the soft, Wada Patawowski, and Nif Steven and Golderator on the medium tire, and we've got Dre and F1 Racer right at the back of the grid with the soft tires. So even, you know, throughout the bottom 8 drivers, we still got a big mix of tire strategies for tonight's race. The predicted pit strategy on screen is saying 2-stop for everybody, soft, medium, soft, hard. You can possibly mix it up, go soft, medium, soft towards the end. And of course, you never know what could happen with the weather. Last night, we did have some rain coming about 20 laps in. And tonight, it did look like there was a couple of clouds together with the sun, but we don't really know, of course, in the comm booth. They don't give us that information, but we're gonna have to wait and see. But everybody who's already joined the stream, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sure that a lot of you have been watching throughout the season. This is the last round of this golden class. Let's get ready for this one. I'm really excited. Lights should be coming up soon. Let's see here. We're getting a little bit of a hold, but we do have a green flag. I don't see any major issues.
I hope that we can get away green here.
Oh, there we go. We've got 3, 4, 5 lights are on. And away we go for the Mexican Grand Prix here for the season finale of Golden Class. Look at that start from Chargers and from Stanley and from Ossio. Ossio is already making an attack on Stanley. Stanley has jumped into the lead of the race right now. Let's see if Ossio can make a move on Chargers into the first corner. Just Stanley locks up, goes a little bit deep there. I think there was a little bit of a touch at the back there with Chargers, but he still managed. Oh, now Chargers jumps another position. He's down to third. Ossio up into second. Flying Jip already up into 4th place and looking to make a move on Chargers into turn 4.
Wow, what a great start from Acho in that McLaren up to P2, and Jippo's really giving the Pulsar a run for his money as he tries to go down the inside, but Chargers will cover that off. A really crazy start in Chargers, like I said, starting on the top front row from P1 to P3, almost even farther down, but the guys in the second, third rows, they really got the advantage.
Wow, big drama right
and
off
Jones,
the line here.
Stunner,
Oh, and here
Jones.
goes Seagrease. Seagrease is coming on Flying Jippo. He's making a move on him. Oh, it's a little bit of a touch there. They're banging wheels, but now they're coming into the stadium corner, into the big hairpin here, and they're still side by side. Oh, there's a touch. Seagrease manages to keep the car together there, but almost lost it there. That was a big one. And who was it that spun there, Seafreeze?
Yeah, we had Jones spin in the S. I think he's clean with no damage. I think he just has a little spin as Chargers now overtaking Acho for P2. The graphic is a little messed up, but it should be him Chargers in the racing point up to P2, so he's getting back up towards the front. But yeah, Jones, I think it was just a little dirty air. I really didn't see all of it, but I think he is fine to continue, as we have a few drivers in the pits, including the new driver Wada Padowski, Fazale, and Gold Raider having some wing damage, so they're in the pits early.
All right, so 3 people early into the pits, unfortunately with some damage, but this track is super, super tight, so I'm not surprised by that. You got to be really, really careful here on lap 1, but we do have a nice battle already forming here for the lead between Stanley Chargers, Asio that's putting on a show for everyone right now, and Flying Jippo that was making some moves right on lap 1, but something happened. Oh, and who is that spun off? Is that Puff Digital?
Yeah,
he's had a spin in those S's like you were predicting. A lot of people already having some trouble there.
Yeah, a few guys at the back having a little trouble here, but it's really the top 7 is in this one group. They're going to be all slipstreaming, and the DRS should be enabled on this lap. So later in the lap, they should have DRS, which there's 3 zones. Which is the end of the S section as well. And then there's kind of a second pack of 4, which Dre is moved from the back of the grid all the way up to P8. Although, oh, what happened with Dre? Oh, a brake failure or something.
And Chargers is now coming up onto Stanley to take the lead of the race back. Another little banging of wheels there again. Those two have been banging wheels for quite a while, but there goes Chargers up into the lead for now. Stanley's coming up his inside again through the double right-hander, and into the second sector we go. But now Chargers has retaken the lead of the race. He started on pole position. He lost it on lap 1 before turn 1, and now he's regained it back. 2 laps later, Chargers back into P1, but now with the DRS, Stanley is right behind him, and wow, this is just turning out to be an absolutely brutal battle here, and I'm sure it's gonna keep on going here throughout the race. Asio is keeping close to them as well, because he knows if anything bad happens in front, he might gain a couple of positions there, maybe at least one. Ooh, Zegre's almost losing the back of the car on the exit of the last corner as he's trying to put a move on Flying Jippo, who is now in 4th place. And behind them, Ryan, JXW, and you having a giggle, still keeping their positions from exactly where they started, doing a pretty good job though. Oh, and there goes Zegre's round the outside of Flying Jippo into turn 1 and into turn 2 and into turn 3. They're still side by side. Zegre's gets pushed out wide a little bit there. Flying Jippo trying to battle back and protect his position. They both have DRS. Zegre's gonna go around the inside, into the next left-hander there, and Flying Jippo still manages to keep his position. Oh my goodness, this is just all over the place. Everybody's battling.
And it's going to continue, so we're only on lap 4, but these guys will all have DRS on each other. And right before this battle, I just wanted to pick up on Dre. I was on board with him. I don't know if the stream caught it, but I was on board. He was about to make an overtake on Golder, and his something with his wheel must have broken. He went straight on into turn 1. I think he's got damage, and he was in the pits. Luckily, he's still able to continue, but he's almost a lap down as the drivers are coming through the stadium section. Chargers still out front, but look at the top 7. They're all within DRS of each other, and this will continue because, and they will also increase the gap from behind. So these guys have a really good shot at having a good finish here as they all have slipstream. It looks like Jippo is specifically close to the McLaren in front. I don't know if he'll go for a move potentially down to turn 1, which he really does go for it. Acho gives a little bit of room, a little bit of tapping, and then Seacrest comes back on. He's coming back on the switch, but not close enough. But Jippo potentially could get P3 here. Again, drives down the inside. I think he'll get it, but Acho really good on the defending. I think he
Here
might
comes
be able to get
Zegrees.
it.
Oh, and Zegrees spins it. He was getting right into that battle, but he just touched the back of Flying Jippo and spun himself out. That was absolutely very, very unfortunate for him. But here comes Flying Jippo on Asio through the S section. This is very crazy through there, and of course he gets slowed down a little bit. Also touches the curb on the outside and almost gets a little bit wiggly on the exit, but managing to keep it together. Definitely doing a very good job there, but it's getting dangerous in this race.
I think you said it the best. It is dangerous, and that was my pick for the win, so we'll see if something shakes up later and he's able to get back up his Segrist, but hopefully we don't have any more spins, because I mean, I would like a really nice battle to the end, which I think we'll have. I think Jippo, it's kind of crucial for him to get past these guys, as we had JW on Ryan trying to move up the grid down into turn 1, but it seems like the AlphaTauri is just a little good on the defending, and he's going to keep it, but the Racing Boy will have the DRS. No, they both do actually, because they were pretty close to Jippo, but it's the Racing Point that moves up to 5th. I was going to say Jippo needs to clear this McLaren so he can close in on the top 2, because we know if anyone's going to win the race, the favorites are Charger, Stanley, and Jippo does have the speed, obviously, this season. He's been lights out all year long, and he wants to finish on the top, so Acho is kind of a roadblock for him at the moment, as he would like to move up a little bit and get into the action. But we're only lap 6 here, so there's plenty of time for everyone.
Yeah, he's right on that rear wing of that McLaren, but even with the 3 DRS zones right now, not being able to pass just yet, but we've still got 30 laps to go. A long ways away from the finish line. So Flying Jippo, here he comes on the start-finish straight. He goes around the left side of Asio. It's going to be, before they make it into turn 1, Flying Jippo's into the podium positions, up into 3rd, but now he's going to have Asio hunting him down very, very quickly. Ryan and JXW, they're not too far behind, and Ryan has been putting a lot of pressure on JXW in the last couple of laps, so I'm sure they'll be pushing ahead with, you know, DRS from each other.
Yeah, for sure. I think those guys have been pretty quick all year, and they're not too far about them behind the McLaren. The McLaren, Acho, he's been quick this season. It seems like maybe the tire wear is starting to come in, as he's losing a little bit of ground on the front runners, and I think the 2 behind in JW and Ryan, I think they're starting to catch him, so we'll see if McLaren has a little something different to stay ahead, because he'd like to stay P4, so if anything does happen in front, he would snag the podium. But pretty good on them. I just wanted to go through the field. I think later in the Segrist seemed to spin. He did not pick up damage, so I think he's been trying to improve on his times here. He's currently P9. Jones, after his spin, as P10. They did not need to pit, as we have the 2 up front. Ryan, clean with DRS, was able to pass JW for P5. So I think we're just kind of in this phase. I think the guys in the front, the top 2, Chargers and Stanley, I think they're just kind of using each other, not using each other too much where they're going to drain all their battery, but they're using each other to make sure Jippo. Jippo had a really nice almost save there, but I think we're pretty much in that phase of just trying to get to the pit stop phase, and we don't really know what they're doing. It could still be a 1 or a 2 stop. We don't know yet, so we'll just have to wait a little bit longer before these guys pit.
I don't think it's going to be too much longer. We're now on lap 8, so possibly in the next couple of laps or so, we're going to start seeing people jumping in. Those soft tires, they really don't last too long around here. So you gotta either lose some time on track, or you got to jump into the pits and put on some fresh rubber. So we'll have to wait and see what our drivers are going to do here. So far, everyone is continuing on. Actually, as I say that, Flying Jippo jumps into the pits. He's going to be the first one. He's going to be jumping on a set of medium tires. Those would have to do 27 laps if he wants to make it to the end, but I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's mixing up the predicted strategy of a soft medium to a soft medium soft. So we'll also see if there's any possible rain or anything coming towards the end of the race, because that might change up the strategy of everybody on the field. So we'll have to wait for that one. But Ryan and JXW, these two have been tied up in a battle for quite a few laps now, and Ryan is still right behind JXW in 4th and 5th. Ooh, a bit of a lock up there into the double right-hander of turn 6 and 5 and 6 there, but managing to make it through there pretty nicely so far. JXW is now pulling ahead and almost outside of the DRS zone, which is pretty much what you would want to do here. They're taking it very nicely through the S's, nice and careful. They're not really pushing through there.
Yeah, and I just want to see if the top two will respond to Jippo, and they both will. They both will come into the pits one lap after Jippo, and Stanley is pretty much just copying what Chargers did there. He had no inclination to do anything different. So they will both put on, I believe, the mediums. It should be 2-stop from both of them. We'll see if Jippo, down in P11, he's got a little traffic ahead in F1 Racer, although he pits, so we have to keep an eye on Jippo. Is that undercut big or not? And I think they got out ahead of Jippo. Pretty good margin, but I think Jippo was able to close in a little bit on that gap in front. But crucially, Jones is right in front of Stanley, but I think he'll clear him. So the top two are still, or I guess
the provisional top two. Yeah.
Provisional, yeah. Forgot the word. It's been a little while, but
it's all
but
good.
Chargers and Stanley, they're still within a second of each other. So it's really about Jippo. Will that Red Bull, will the champion be able to close in? I think he might even be running no line today.
Ooh,
I'm not
battle for the lead
sure.
here. Nip Steven is going on down the inside on JXW, and he's made it into the overall lead for now. Of course, he's on the alternate strategy, but Nip Steven started from the very back of the grid, and look at him, he's in first, and there goes JXW doing the overcut just by 1 lap there, and he's probably going to go onto a set of mediums as well. No, he's going onto another set of soft tires. No, mediums. There we go, mediums.
Yeah, there we
Sorry,
go. Yeah.
the graphic is all messed up.
Yeah, that seems to be the preferred strategy today, is the 2-stop and putting the medium on in the first pit stop phase. But yeah, it's Steven and Joshua leading this race, and this puts them, they have about 6. See if a safety car does come out, this would put them in a good position. So these two, their races aren't really over yet, you know. This is kind of where something, if anything, were to come out, a safety car, this would change the race. But you still have Chargers and Stanley within 3/10 of each other, so that's good on them. And Wadapowski didn't pit as well. He's still on the sauce from, although I think he pitted quite early with wing damage. We have a yellow in Sector 1, and that is Puff Digital, I believe, Mercedes.
Yep, brief moment there, but seems to be back up now. But that would have been nice if that would have been a safety car, just as you were talking about safety cars. You know, sometimes that happen, but not today. So right now, Chargers and Stanley, the provisional leaders of this race, they're in 3rd and 4th, about 5 seconds behind Joshua and Nip Steven, who are now leading this Grand Prix. So Nip Steven, let's take a look. Where did he start exactly? Can't see here.
We got a yellow Gold Raiders out of the race at the end of the S section. If you go on board the Mercedes, or now Dre, you might see it from Dre if you didn't catch it at the end of the, and safety car, look at that.
Oh,
so,
my goodness.
A day late, a dollar short, or whatever the saying is. There you have it. The safety car is out. And what did well, no one really was able to pit. It's really all the leaders basically are in the middle sector, just entering the S's. So if anyone were to pit, it's the guys in the back. But I don't think they would need it. But Steven and Joshua, they would probably come in now. They could probably put the hards on and go to the end of the race, which would satisfy, you know, using both tires. So
is it going to be quick enough?
They
though?
might pit.
Is the hard tire going to be quick enough?
I don't know if you really are going for quickness, because everyone else needs to do another stop. So I think they will get away with it. You know. Oh, and a drive-through for Jones. Not a season to remember for Jones, unfortunately. I really wish it was a different way, but this is not how you want to end your Mexico finale. I feel for him.
Yeah, I feel his pain too. We're both in McLarens, and we both share the same number as well. I think he's 45, and so am I. And it's just hasn't been a good year for the 45 McLaren. We'll just put it that way. But it's okay. I
wouldn't play the lottery on that one.
Yeah, we'll come back much stronger next season. I'm sure of it. Both of us will do much better. But
Joshua did the hards. He actually listened. To me, you know,
and so did Wada Potofsky.
For once. Yeah, and they would be able to go to the end of the race. Now, Chargers and the guys in front, they need to come in. They can't bring those mediums to the end unless you're like Superman, which if anyone would be, it's probably Jippo.
What about Fuzz? Yeah. He just came in there in the pits under the safety car. He just came out in 15th place on a medium tire. That's going to be... can he possibly make it to the end? 23, 22-ish laps? I mean, we're still on the safety car for probably another lap or two.
Yeah, it'll be touch and go, but I think, you know, if he pitted again from P15, I don't think that would really do his race much good. So he might just stick it out and see what happens, or maybe see if another safety car comes up. But yeah, these guys, you know, you can't follow the leader in the same street. You got to do something different, which I think in Mexico you can do, because people will do the one stop, they'll try the two stop, and you can do the two stop or the one stop with multiple tires. It's all about the approach of the weekend. So you got to try something different if you want to, you know. If you don't have the speed in the given day, or luck didn't go your way, you have to try a little something different. So I like the strategy call from Joshua specifically. I think he can maybe snag a podium depending on how this race shapes up. And I also like Seacrest on those softs. I think he pitted before the safety car, but he's going to be the quickest guy out there, and he'll gain some track position. And you know the guys in the front are going to have to pit again, so he'll get the track position, and then he'll pit just like everyone else will in the top 6. So I do like that strategy call from Seacrest, which with that spin earlier on, at least he could get a little something back for him.
Alright, so Nip Stevens started in 15th place, right now in 5th after making that pit stop under the safety car. Worked out pretty well for him. Chargers back up into the lead of this race with Flying Jippo right behind him. So Flying Jippo definitely made up a few positions there so far after 14 laps into this race. We've still got 22 more laps to go, one of the longest Grand Prix that we've got in the season, but it's very exciting as well at the Autodromo Hermano Rodriguez at the Mexico City in Mexico. It's usually, or part of it is usually a baseball field, which is the stadium section. So, you know, for the race, they sort of converted into a piece of the racetrack, which is absolutely exciting and amazing for me. I would love that if they did that with, let's say, you know, the Rogers Center down in Toronto. That would be great.
That would be cool.
I think they do run the track for the Indy, the Honda 2000, I think they call it, very, very close to it, but not quite there. So yeah, it's a very exciting racetrack here in Mexico. I think it's also challenging. Ooh, lots of penalties coming for people. What is going on? What are these penalties for? 5 seconds for Osseo, 5 seconds for Nip Steven. I know drive-through already for Jones was earned before, but now extra penalties for additional drivers.
Yeah, I think Steven and Nacho might have had a little bit of contact under safety car, which I think they'll have to serve that penalty in their next pit stop, so we wouldn't even be able to remove it in our rules and regulations. So that's unfortunate for them too, but you know, you have to leave a little bit of space, and I'm assuming they got a little too close to each other. And I also saw Jippo and Stanley will, you know, Jippo was not P2 in this race. Somehow he was able to jip, literally jip Stanley of a P2. So somehow he's got track position over the Renault, and I'm not too sure how that happened, but I guess if you're a Jippo fan, you're not really complaining. More so if you're a Stanley fan, but yeah, interesting.
All right, so yeah, I did notice that somehow he just jumped some positions before the safety car, but I mean, you know, that's exciting. That's definitely interesting to see how he makes up those positions, and he's a champion in this season, and it definitely shows you that he just plays strategy so well. I mean, I've asked him so many times throughout the season in the podium interviews. You know, what do you run? Do you sort of have a strategy that you come in with into the race and you're sort of following that, or you just play it by ear? And he's always said the exact same thing, that he's always playing it by ear. And now you having a giggle gets a 5-second penalty for a touch with somebody as well, and the safety car is going to be coming in on this lap.
Awesome. And you know, like we should all realize, DRS will not be enabled on the initial lap. It'll be 3 more laps, so let's wait for 3 more laps, and it'll be a little bit intense because the whole group, the whole field is now bunched up, and it's the first time since the lap 1 of the race. So Chargers will go when he wants to, and I think he's going to go now.
And he does go now, but it's not a very good go, because look at Stanley, look at Flying Jippo, look at Asio. Everybody's coming at him now. Stanley is really going for the move now, down into turn 1. This could turn ugly with all the other cars around. Look at Flying Jippo, he's outside of the track. He's trying to make it into turn 1 as well, in front of everybody, and he does sort of, but then Chargers jumps right on the outside of him again. Stanley gets touched.
Chargers into the wall. Chargers into the wall. He got a little loose.
Oh my goodness, and now Nip Steven is coming at Flying Jippo into turn 4. Absolutely incredible stuff here on the restart on lap 16 of 36. Still 20 laps to go, and these guys are just going at it. Nip Steven now into the lead of this race. Flying Jippo right on his tail into the S section here. But yeah, Chargers had a touch with somebody there coming through turn 4 and 5, and or 2 and 3, sorry, and just managed to get damage on his front wing, so that's gonna really slow him down now.
Yeah, these guys are racing like it's a 5-lapper race, but it's also the finale, and the Ferrari of Steven with that beautiful strategy call now on the same rotation as everyone else is now in the lead. The Ferrari's in the lead, Jippo in second, and Acho in third. They do have their penalties, but man, a terrible start from Chargers from P1 to P8.
And Asio now right on the tail of Flying Jippo into turn 1 on lap 17. Let's see if he's going to go for a move here. He does think about it down the inside. Is he going to outbrake him? They're going to be side by side into turn 1. Not quite outbroken there. Oh, but there comes Zegrees out of nowhere.
On the soft tires. He's got the softs on. And he just went around that McLaren like he was standing still. He just went for the apex, and he got that McLaren.
Asio trying to come at him around the outside, but not going to quite do it on that corner. Absolutely aggressive driving from all of the drivers here tonight. Right at the restart after the safety car, they're all pushing for positions. They're all pushing for last points here in the season finale of season 10. It's been an absolutely amazing season, but it's not over yet. We've got almost 20 laps to go in this Mexican Grand Prix for round 16, and boy, oh boy, are these guys putting on a show tonight.
And I said wait for 3 laps. We're going to come on to lap 18, and I'm pretty sure this will be the lap for the DRS, or maybe next lap. But yeah, Secrets, like I said, with those soft tires, really clicking on here at the restart, and he's up to P3, only a half a second behind Jippo and Steven. He's got the fresher tires than Jippo, and it looks like he's pulling away a little bit. If he could get out of the DRS zone, he might have a really nice race for himself, because he is quick. He just needed that track position.
He started 15th, Nip Steven, and now running in the lead of this race with Flying Jippo, the champion of this class this season, and Zegrees right behind him, hunting him down with the DRS now enabled. Zegrees is now catching up to the back of Flying Jippo quite quickly there. Flying Jippo also locks up a little bit into turn 4 and almost runs wide there, but now Zegrees is really smelling blood. He's also on a completely brand new set of soft tires. He's going to be a little bit slower towards the end of this race after he makes another pit stop, but he is very, very quick right now as they're coming through the second wiggly sector there with all the S's back and forth, right and left. You got to make about 6 different direction changes through there. It is very exciting, but you can also make it go very, very wrong very quickly. So right now, Stanley, who was up there in the fight for the lead of the race, together with Chargers, is in 5th place, and Chargers is where is he? He's all the way down in 15th after having to make another pit stop with that damage. So the tables have turned absolutely instantly here. Now look at this threesome battle here. Yeah.
He will close in on the Ferrari down the inside, turn 1. I think he'll maybe go for it, and he will. But the Ferrari is not going to just let him have it. Or will he? No, the Ferrari, really good traction on the end. But Sechrist gets the ultimate traction still with those soft tires, and he's up to P2. Maybe for the lead. The Mercedes. Sechrist going for the lead of this race, and I think he's got it.
And Flying Jippo there, unfortunately, getting collected by their battle. He was trying to make a move around the outside of both of them, made a little bit of a touch into the wall, and he's dropped down to 7th place now and also got damage on his front wing after running into the wall. But look at Steven and Zegrees. They are so close and right behind each other on those S's in the second sector as they're coming into now turn 12, very hard braking into the right-hand side. And look at Nip Steven. He's doing such an incredible job, but Zegrees on those soft tires, they're fresh, they are very quick, and they are putting him right into the lead for now. But Nip Steven is going to have DRS on the start-finish straight now. Zegrees is going to try and break the toe. They're coming into the DRS now. Here comes Steven. Is he using overtake? He is using his overtake as well into turn 1. Is he going to have enough space to make a move? He's going to go down the inside on Zegrees now. This is the battle for the lead as it stands right now. Zegrees protects his position on the inside of the corner, cuts the corner there in turn 2 a little bit, and now, oh, it's catching a little bit of a wiggle on the outside of turn 4, and now Nip Steven is coming at him again with the DRS into the next left-hander. Let's see how this is going to work out. He locks up a little bit, but Zegrees still defending the inside position, doing a pretty good job of defending there, still in the lead of this race for now.
Yeah, these guys are really going for it, and, you know, it's bringing the other guys back in. Stanley, he was a second back, and look, he's right in it. It's Steven right around the outside into the F section with the traction. He literally just took that away from Sechrist. I think those softs are starting to come low, but look, Sechrist back. He just took it right back from Steven. These guys are really going for it, and it's not even close to the end. We still have lots of laps to go, but Stanley, this brings Stanley, and this brings Acho, the racing point of JW, and Joshua on those hards. He's going long, and Jippo is out of this race. The champion is out of the finale just a lap ago, and he is gone, and these guys are still going at it. You got the DRS, and the whole train has it, and Steven will try to look for the lead again. So these guys are not giving up, and Sechrist is coming back. This is insane battling here as and we got Dre retiring the pits. So insane battles here as almost 3 wide action to the lead. Stanley around the outside on the Renault. I think he's gonna get it. Wow.
Here comes Zegrees again, though, down the inside of Nip Steven into the next double right-hander, and Stanley up into the lead of this race in an incredible move there out of nowhere. He was just catching up slowly but surely as these two guys have been battling for the last couple of laps, have been going side by side into a lot of corners and tapping each other, and definitely have lost some time to the guys behind them now. And as you said, Asio and JXW are also coming into this battle, and they're also burning out their medium tires. As we know, if you ask too much of these medium tires too early, they're not going to give you too much joy later on in the stint.
Yeah, and I think Secrets has to pit here. I think he will. Yeah, he's going to pit, just like I mentioned, and I think he'll put on those medium tires, and he'll get a pretty nice undercut on Stanley, who is not to pit for probably another 4 laps. So he still has a really good shot at this race, especially because the other guy's Chargers problems. Jippo has problems, and he's maybe getting that undercut on Stanley, who is still out on those mediums. So Secrets can still have a really nice finish. Potential win in this race is the Mercedes. He comes out P13 in a clear track. So look out for him as we close in on this race. We still have a lot of racing left to go.
And here comes JXW down the inside of Osseo into the double right-hander into the second sector there, doing a pretty good job. But Osseo gets a good traction right out of the corner and retakes 3rd position as it stands right now, because honestly, we cannot know how this is going to end. So far, it's been such an incredible race. I'm almost sad that we had to wait until the very last round to come here to Mexico, because so far it's providing, I think, one of the best Grand Prix we've seen in this season.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's a reason why we have Mexico last, because it's the best for last. We save it all here in TCR, but we really like it. The finale, it's been the finale for TCR for quite some time, and it really puts on a great race. I mean, just the track has really a lot of everything, really close battles, and we're seeing it here today, but we do save the best for last, and JW moving on Acho for P3, so these guys are just constantly battling, and some really nice overtakes, battling, defending overtakes, and it's just been a really nice race up until this point, and I think that it's only gonna continue, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right, it's lap 23 of 36. 13 more laps to go. We've already had 1 safety car. We've had a couple of retirements here. Dre, Diggy, Flying Jippo, and Golderator have not made it until the end of the race. It's very unfortunate for Flying Jippo not to make it until the end of the race. I mean, he is the champion, so you would want to finish the season finale, but it's not going to affect him in any particular way. He's still going to be the champion in this season, but this race has provided us with 23 laps of absolutely non-stop action as Stanley almost loses the car there through the stadium section of turn 14, absolutely having to keep it right on the edge there, and this is exactly what I've been talking about. I think when you push those medium tires a little bit too much too early, they won't have much left to give later on in the stint, and this is what Stanley's starting to feel now. But these two, Nip Steven and Stanley, they've been back and forth for the last, I don't know, about 5 or 6 laps now, so it's just absolutely incredible action here. Huge thank you to everybody who's watching and everybody who's sending in their comments. Leave us a like, subscribe to the channel, share the channel with other people as well. If you guys want to join the league, check out our website. The link is in the description to the video, and also while you're there, check out our affiliate sponsor Fanatec if you're looking to buy any equipment for yourself or for anybody else for Christmas. Definitely a good gift. I'm sure anybody would appreciate it, but definitely check out the link in the description for that as well, because you'll be helping out the league in buying yourself some great equipment as well. So it's a sort of a win-win situation. But yeah, it's round 16. It's the grand season finale of season 10. It's an anniversary season, and it's definitely provided an anniversary season worth of action. It's not over yet. Still to go. We've got 12 more laps of definitely close action. And there goes Stanley into the pits now. So he's going to fit on another brand new set of softs, I would think. And he's going to be nice and quick for the rest of the race.
Yep, and it's kind of expected. I think you'll see a few guys pit, following him in the next few laps. I think JW, Puff Digital, even Fazale, I don't think they could go to the end. At least it wouldn't be the quickest option for him. And like I said earlier, watch that Mercedes. Secrest, who was in P2 at the time, he got the undercut. He is now ahead of Stanley. So if we think Stanley has a shot at this win, Secrest is going to the end. Secrest has track position, so he also can go for the win. Even still, even if they're in P9 and P10, you have to look at everybody else. A lot of people, you know, in front of them have to go back into the pits. Some penalties I see from Steven and Giggle, and the only people I think that really have a good shot at going to the end, it would be Mr. Joshua. with the hard tires in P4 and Giggle in P7, but he's got a time penalty. I think it's a little touch and go for Steven if he could go to the end. I think he can make it, but I think the others probably will catch him by the end of the race. So it's still anyone's game, but I think
look at this big battle here.
Here
comes Stanley on Zegries, as Zegries is also overtaking, who is it? I think it was Ryan. Yeah, Ryan at the same time. So both of them have just gained positions on Ryan, but both of them are still battling. They're on completely different tire strategies. Stanley's got that slightly quicker soft tire, and he's also going to have DRS on the start-finish straight, so you would think this is probably going to be a pretty good move here from Stanley on Zegries before they make it into turn 1. He's well ahead.
Yeah, and this is effectively, could be for the win. I think Zegries has to stick in there and stay with Stanley, which we've seen he's been able to do, although a few times just like that, a little wonky on the throttle. I think he just has to put those consistent laps in, but really all he has to do is stick with Stanley. He's got only 3 laps older of tires, although just interesting, I didn't even notice Stanley put the softs on, so he's going with the soft tire to the end of the race, which is it's doable. 10 laps is fine, but the last lap, you know, he'll probably be suffering a little bit on those soft tires, but he is probably the quickest guy on track, and that explains why he was able to get Zegries so quickly, is those soft tires. So
Steven into the pits.
Yeah, all right.
Let's see, Jakes W and Fuzz are going to continue on. I gotta say, Fuzz looked like he was struggling a little bit on his tires, especially as they were coming into the start of the second sector there. So he would probably have to pit pretty soon here. I think pushing it for another lap is only slowing him down, but he's still gaining time on JXW Gaming, so JXW must not be happy on his tires either. And now Fuzz has the DRS as they make it through turn 3 and into turn 4. Let's see if this is going to be a move. It is a move for the lead of the race as it stands right now, and Fuzz is up into first. JXW dropped his position down to second, but Joshua is right on his tail there in third place, and as you mentioned, might not have to stop until the end of the race, so that might be possibly the win for Joshua if he can get good pace out of those hard tires for long enough.
Yeah, he's got about an 8-second gap to his teammate, and effectively he's the guy who would be putting a run for his money, is his own teammate. So the Renaults have pretty much a split strategy, and it's whether or not Stanley can make 8 seconds, now 7.5 seconds on his teammate, and then also pass him and stay ahead. By then his soft tires will be really off the cliff. I guess you could say the same for the hard tires, but yeah, it's look, and the Racing Point of JW and Fazale, they both pitted, so it's the Renaults up front, and effectively those are the guys who has the best shot to win this race. It really depends about how quick will Stanley end of this race. He has been quick, it's just will the soft stick in there for that long? 7 seconds and about, you know, I think it's doable. I think it is. So it's going to be a nail biter towards the end. So
absolutely. Well, we've only got 8 more laps to go here. Stanley managed to make his way up into second place now, so it's a 1-2 for Renault as it stands right now, with Joshua in first, Stanley in second. You having a giggle on that hard tire. Still has a penalty hanging to his name, but he is up in third place with Zegries in fourth. F1 Racer, sorry, in fifth. Nip Steven still hanging on to sixth place after making that pit stop already. So, and now going for a move on F1 Racer into the stadium section and makes it stick, and he's up into fifth place now. So actually doing a very, very incredible and just impressive job overall, because he started 15th, so he's gained 10 positions in the race with everything that's happened, and he's on a pretty good strategy, still gaining some time. He might be able to possibly grab fourth, depending on how much time you have in a giggle has in penalties. We can actually check that now. He's got 5 seconds. So right now, as it stands, Nip Steven is going to be fourth if you have in a giggle doesn't gain some time.
Yeah, and I was also going to shout out F1 Racer for having a really nice race as well. He's up to P6 after starting dead last. So he is also up a significant amount, 12 positions. And he's on the soft tires, just like everyone else around him. So he has a shot to maybe get a top 5. Depends how Giggle, like you said, with his time penalty will dictate this race. But a really nice performance by our silver driver and our last year's silver champion. So that's good on him. And look back on the gap, like I mentioned a lap ago. I think it's really clear who has the speed at Renault. And I think the tires obviously has the reason behind it, but Stanley, after around 7-8 second gap, now around a 3.5 second gap, and we have 7 laps left in this race. So still, he could see his teammate ahead, and I don't think there'll be any team orders. It's the last race, you know, you win or go home.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it would have been incredible to see what Stanley could have done if he would have had, you know, the full season here together with Flying Jippo, especially, you know, that first sort of stint of races for Flying Jippo. He was just absolutely dominating, and, you know, if it was just like the same story with Flip Flop Fish last year in the same class, in Golden Class. He came in 6 or 7 races too late, but he came down to losing out on the championship just by a couple of points at the end of the season. So it's absolutely incredible what some drivers can do here. Nip Stevens is trying to make a move on you having the Giggle. Oh, into the stadium section, into the hairpin. Very close, side by side, still side by side through there, but there goes Nip Stevens up into 4th place on track. He's not going to wait until the end of the race and penalties to decide his fate. He's up into there with 5 laps to go now. Very exciting racing, and Stanley 1.7 seconds behind Joshua. He cut his gap in half on the last lap.
Yeah, I think it's really favoring Stanley here. He's almost within the DRS of his Renault teammate, and I think Joshua could still have a really nice finish here. He could probably keep P2, potentially for a P1 and P2 for Renault. But Steven on the soft tires, he's probably the second quickest guy. You know, right behind Stanley. Seegers on those mediums, he's kind of in the balance. Oh, we have a spinner, or maybe not. Is that Acho? No, I think he was just getting out of the way. As I guess he's lapped. Oh no, that was Jones. It's a yellow flag, my bad. But now look, a half a second within the Renaults. I think on the main straight we'll see the pass, and this will be for the win of the Mexican Grand Prix.
Yeah, I think
it should be a pretty simple move.
A move is definitely coming here. It's the teammates in the Renaults. They were very close to winning the Constructors' Championship this year. Stanley was very close to winning the Drivers' Championship this year, or at least putting a closer fight to Flying Jippo. So if these two are teammates again in Golden Class or in Platinum Class, it doesn't really matter. I think these two are a very good combination together. Mr. Joshua is currently sitting in 6th place with 107 points to his name, and well, I mean, you can see where he's sitting on track right now in this race, doing pretty well for Renault. Both of the drivers throughout the season, I don't remember them ever coming together, having any issues between themselves, so doing a very, very nice job. That's exactly what you would expect out of 2 professional drivers if they want to put on the show and want to, you know, challenge for titles. It's very impressive to see, but even more impressive, just gotta say, is the fact that, you know, this league has been through 10 seasons of incredible racing. It's been super close, it's been super exciting, and it's been such an incredible honor for me to get to commentate on it for the last couple of seasons here as well, as Jones locks up massively there, almost smashing into the front of the Renaults. That would, I mean, into the back of the Renaults, that would have really sucked for the guys in front. But yeah, what an incredible season.
I don't think Jones would have cared, but but here we go. I think you might see the pass here. You didn't see it last lap, but I think you'll see it this lap. They both have a lot of battery left, but Stanley for the lead of this race with the preferred strategy and the better tires will take P1 pretty easily on his teammate. Now it's whether or not Steven can get to Joshua and or Stanley, because he has two laps fresher tires, although he's about 3 seconds behind the leader, around 1.5, 2 seconds off of P2. So he was able to get by Seacrest. Now it's whether or not can he split the Renaults or can he beat both of them. But he can see them; they're right there. So we still have something left in this race to bring us home.
Yeah, Nip Steven could give us a little bit of a show right towards the end. He's now almost within that DRS zone. He's closing up time very, very quickly. Joshua's tires after 19 laps, even on the hard tire, it looks like it's not holding on here. But as I've mentioned a couple of times already, this track is quite rough on your tires, and with this new game F1 2020, you have the ability to adjust tire pressures a little bit more. I know a lot of drivers play around with that, trying to get the ultimate performance out of their tires, but it's very, very tricky. And yeah, a couple more laps to go here. So Nip Stevens now within the DRS zone of Joshua, just within 3/10 of him. So you might even be able to make a move here as they come out of turn 3. He's got the DRS again, but he hasn't gotten a good exit.
For it if he could. Let's see, a little too far back, but he's got so much grip. You might see a move, unconventional move here, maybe in a double right. He might go for it. He does. Ooh, a little contact. And a little bit on the throttle there, but I think he can maybe get past him on the next DRS zone, because these hard tires are really slow through the S section. If he can get a good run, but the dirty air kind of puts him out a little wide. But let's see here, 2/10. I think he'll make a move. Yep, down the inside is Steven, and it's a pretty easy move as you have Jones there taking advantage. Jones wants some fun, and we have Ferrari now of Steven, only 2 seconds behind him, but we're running out of laps in this Grand Prix. But he is kind of closing in on Stanley, so I wouldn't say it's over, but I don't know, maybe it is.
Yeah, this could be a close one. We've still got a couple more laps to go here. Nip Steven on those fresh soft tires is quick enough to split the two Renaults. It was going to be a 1-2, but no longer, if Nip Steven has anything to say about it. He is closing up to Stanley. He's just cut it down by a couple of tenths there, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough laps for him to really put some real pressure on him. And he is being a little bit eager on the throttle out of the exits of a couple of corners there, which I'm sure is not helping him out either.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a position where he can win a golden race. I believe he really hasn't been able to have some really good top finishes, and he's really put himself into a position where he could do that today. And look at the gap now, 1.1 seconds. So if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen on the last lap of this race, and I don't think Stanley's gonna want that to happen. I think he's gonna save a little bit as Stanley. Maybe not. Maybe they're both running for it. But this is gonna come down to the last lap. But I think Stanley's got this covered.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be just ahead enough on this last lap. Lap 36 of 36 in the last round of this season, Season 10, for this golden class. Absolutely incredible racing throughout the whole season. We've seen new drivers making a name for themselves in TCR. We've also seen some great returning drivers really putting on the show. Flying Jippo, the champion. Red Bull, the Constructors champions. But Stanley here tonight in Mexico in the season finale. He's running out there in the lead, clear by about 1.5 seconds of Nip Steven, who started in 15th place. Nip Steven just got a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. He's been a little bit wide there through the S's. Even under regular corner cutting rules, he still managed to get a 3-second. Here comes Zegries on Joshua. Is he gonna make a late move into the stadium section? Not quite, but here comes Stanley around the last corner. Osseo gets a 3-second time penalty as well, but Stanley is going to come around and he's going to win the Mexican Grand Prix in Season 10 to round off this beautiful season in Golden Class. Nip Steven in second. Joshua is going to be in third with Zegries finishing just a 10th behind him. It was very close there for third place. F1 Racer from the back of the grid into 5th place. JXW in 6th. Chargers in 7th. Fuzz in 8th. Puff Digital in 9th. Osseo in 10th. You Having a Giggle is going to finish 11th. And then we have Ben Swerven and Ryan who are still battling for their positions. Ryan finishes ahead in 12th. Ben Swerven in 13th. Wadapovsky is going to be in 14th. And Jones rounds up the grid in 15th. But what a Grand Prix this was to send off this season, with Stanley in that Renault putting on a great show, recovering after the pit stops, back into the win.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. I think the race really had everything, and it kept us. It wasn't a boring one by any means. It was a really well race, and Stanley definitely deserved that one. The way he's come into the season and the speed he's had, especially in the second half of the season, really showing that he is one of the top Golden drivers, right up there with the other guys like Jippo and Chargers, and he's just showed again today that he has a shot. So we'll see how it goes next season. I don't know. Well, maybe he'll be in Golden, maybe he'll make the move to Platinum, but I really do hope he can stay.
Yeah,
and prove his speed throughout. But it's Stanley and the Renaults, both Renaults doing a really good job. Joshua 11th to 3rd, Stanley just from 2nd to 1st, and so we had some troubles with Chargers and Flying Jippo, who were also in contention for this win, but didn't ultimately come. But yeah, I really enjoyed that race, and it was a good finale to go out on.
Oh yeah, and so did I. Absolutely loved that one. That was a great Grand Prix to send us off to the end of the season. So go ahead and get Stanley, Steven, and Joshua into our party so we can hear from them after this race, and we can really, especially with Nip Steven and Joshua coming back from 11th and 15th on the grid to the podium. Those guys did an incredible job, so I'd love to hear how they did it and just their impressions with the season overall, because of course, as we mentioned, this is the season finale. I know it's a bit sad, and especially for myself, I've gotten the chance both to race and to commentate in the season quite a bit. Got involved with making videos and things like that for the season as well, so just absolutely loved every second of it, and I'm gonna miss everyone until we come back again in a few months here. I think a couple of months or so. We'll be back again for season 11. We might have some new fresh faces in that season as well that might put on another show for us like a lot of guys did in this one. So we'll just have to wait and see for a little bit. But if you guys want to race with us in season 11, go ahead and check out the link to our website in the description, where you guys can fill out a form to join up the league, join our Discord chat. You can chat with people like you've seen here today, like Flying Jippo and Stanley and Chargers and Joshua and everybody else. So it might be your chance to make a name for yourself on TCR. Definitely sign up if you guys are looking to race with us. We have 3 classes: silver, gold, and platinum, all with different assist levels, all with different skill levels as well. So don't be afraid to sign up. I'm sure you will enjoy it. But we've got our drivers now joining up over here in our party. I saw Stanley so far, and I think Joshua is here as well.
Yep.
All right, well, let's start with you then, Joshua, in P3. You started, I think it was 11th in this race, and managed to recover to the podium together with your teammate as well, so a double podium for Renault. Tell us about the race, and just tell us about the season overall.
Season overall, I think I made a lot of progression. This is my first year without the line, so I was just happy from where I started to where I ended. I think I made a lot of progress. If I raced the track for a second or third time, you could definitely see improvement in each time, and this was the first one for Mexico. I think the biggest thing I need to work on now is my qualifying, because I am just absolutely horrendous at it no matter what track I'm at. So I think if I was able to improve that a little bit more, I could have some even better results. But just gotta work on the consistency without the line first year without it, and progress will keep coming.
Seafreeze.
Yes, sir. Josh, really good race. I was kind of thinking the same thing as far as your strategy. As soon as that safety car came out, did it kind of click right away that you needed to do the hard tire to go to the end? Did you think you had a shot at the win, or at least a podium when that safety car came out?
I thought I might once. I think it was Jackson Fuzz pitted in front of me on lap, I think 27, 28. But a few laps later, I just saw Stanley coming way too fast. So I kind of knew the win was out the window there. So I was hoping to hang on to the podium, and I think I was able to by about a tenth or two over Segrist. So if it was 37 laps, I think he would have had me there. So my tires were in the 70%, so the wear on the front left was definitely getting up there towards the end. So I was grasping for everything I had.
Wow,
awesome. Well, good strategy call, and a good P3. Good way to end it out in Mexico.
Yeah, great season overall. Good luck in next season as well.
Yep, thank you.
All right, so let's move on to, I'm not sure if we have him with us. Is Nip Steven here? I don't think he's with us, but I guess we will mention, though, a very impressive run from him from P15 as a reserve driver here tonight from Silver all the way up into P2, which was very, very impressive. He did run with those hard tires that you see on the car right now, so he managed to make that one work, and that was very, very incredible from performance from him. But we will go back to another Renault driver, another one on the podium as well, but now on the top step, winning this season finale, doing very impressive job throughout the season as well. Once you tally up the points from today, you're only going to be about 30 points away from flying Jippo at the end of everything, and you did miss out on the first 3 races of this season, so it might have been close if you were here from the very start, but congratulations on a great performance here tonight, another win to your name, and also congratulations on the great season. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's been a very good season for my rookie season, and then yeah, like you said, as I missed the first 3 races and made my debut in Singapore, it started from there. So for the race, at the start, I thought I was gonna crash with Chargers because I had no brakes. I thought I was gonna crash into him, and then we would be both spinning. But during the race, Chargers was using so much ERS, trying to get back to the lead, and then we pitted at the same time, and then the safety car came out, and then when the safety car ended, I thought I had an amazing restart, being side by side with Jippo, and actually doing the safety car, Jippo passed me, but it was just a game. It really let him pass, and he tried to let me pass, but the game wouldn't let me pass him freely. So, and at the restart, I thought I had a good restart, and then when we were 3 wide into turn 1, I just backed off, and then I thought I could get the run back out at the exit of turn 3, but then I spun, and then so did Chargers, so that dropped me down to like 6, and then I made my way back to the lead, and then I pitted for softs, and when I was P10, I thought the win was gone, and then I was 9 seconds behind Joshua, and I was catching quickly, and doing like 3 laps to go, I was like right behind him, and I tried to give him the win, but when I saw Nip Steven catching 2 seconds a lap when I was staying behind him, I had to pass him, because then he would have called up, and then we would have been Renault 2-3, and then he would have won. So yeah, and then just carried for the lead all the way.
I appreciate it, but the hearts just weren't holding up that well at the end there, so I was definitely struggling towards the end.
All right, Seafreeze, questions for our winner tonight?
Yeah, well, I just want to know, it was a really good race, so congratulations, ending Season 10 on a high note for both of the Renaults, in fact, and I just want to know, do you think you would have had a good shot at the title if you were here from day 1, and if you did or didn't, how do we, will we see you back here in Season 10, and if so, what are your plans? See Golden, Platinum,
I guess what capacity will we see Stanley in for next season?
I haven't really thought about whether going to platinum, staying in golden, but for the question about the championship, it seemed like after Jippo wrapped up the championship, he sort of like didn't really put as much effort as before, and like yeah, I might have had a chance, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
Good to know. Well, there's a bright road ahead. Maybe, well, hopefully you will be able to come back and put some more good performances for whatever class that you race in.
All right. Well, congratulations to all of our podium finishers here tonight. Congratulations to Flying Jippo for winning the season and Red Bull for winning the Constructors' Championship in Season 10. What a season it's been in this golden class. I can't wait until the next season starts. But Seafreeze, thank you so much for joining me here tonight in the booth, and you've been, incredible as always.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and it's been fun working with you as well. So I was glad I was able to step aside and do some comms for the finale, especially at Mexico. So it's been a really good season, and thank all the drivers and officials, commentators, stewards, and obviously the spectators. It has been a pretty crazy, eventful season 10, and I'm kind of tired to, I'm kind of happy it's all coming to an end because we can finally take a deep breath of what we just witnessed in this season. So it's been a lot of fun, and I'm happy as always to commentate here today.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. All of our drivers, all the officials, our affiliate sponsor Fanatec, and everybody else. Thank you guys. This is the end of Season 10, but tomorrow we still have Platinum class with their season finale here in Mexico as well. So join us tomorrow at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. But from BLIN-MACHINE, from Seafreeze, from Golden class in Season 10, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great night.